All right, let's talk about something that's going to make your Windows 11 life just a little bit better. If you've ever looked at a Mac and thought, man, I wish I could do that one thing, well, this is probably it. We're going to look at a super simple tweak that honestly feels like a major upgrade.
You know this scene, right? You're in the zone, you've got a dozen windows open, browsers, folders, apps, your screen is just a complete jungle of stuff. And all you need is that one file sitting on your desktop, but it's buried under layers of chaos.
So, haven't you ever just wished you could wave a magic wand or, just click your mouse and make all of it just poof, disappear for a second so you can see your beautiful, clean desktop underneath?
Yeah, let's just call it what it is, the cluttered desktop problem. It's one of those little annoyances that if you've ever used a Mac, you really, really feel it on Windows.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? On macOS, you just click any empty part of your wallpaper and all your windows just elegantly swoosh out of the way, click again, and they all slide right back. Windows 11, for all its great features, just doesn't do that.
But what if I told you there's a brilliant, completely free, and ridiculously easy fix? Let me introduce you to the hero of our story.
Check this out. Meet PeekDesktop. The picture really says it all. You got the chaotic before on the left, you click the wallpaper, and boom, you get the clean, simple after. It's honestly that easy.
So what is this thing? It's a tiny, free program that does one thing, and it does it perfectly. It gives Windows that superpower you've been wanting. Click the wallpaper, Windows hide. Click it again, and everything snaps right back to where it was.
Now, here's the kicker. This wasn't made by some random person online. It was built by Scott Hanselman, who is a vice president at Microsoft. The fact that a top exec at Microsoft built this on his own time tells you everything you need to know about how badly this feature is needed. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Is some little third-party app going to slow down my computer? Let's talk performance, because this thing isn't just cool, it's unbelievably efficient.
Just look at that number. The entire download is 887 kilobytes. That's nothing. It's smaller than a single photo from your phone. In the world of software, that's basically microscopic.
And what about when it's running? It sips on about 5.6 megabytes of your computer's memory. That is an incredibly tiny amount. To really put that into perspective for you, here's the proof, straight from Windows Task Manager. You can see PeekDesktop just chilling there, barely using any resources. In fact, that built-in Windows Widgets panel uses way more memory just sitting there doing nothing. So yeah, this has pretty much zero impact on your PC speed.
And it's not just lightweight, it's smart. You might worry that you'd accidentally trigger it all the time when you're just trying to click a desktop icon. Well, nope. The developer used some clever Windows APIs that can tell the difference between your wallpaper and your icons. So you can click and drag your icons all you want, and it won't accidentally hide all your windows. Genius. But wait a second. You might be saying, doesn't Windows already have ways to show the desktop? And yeah, you're right, it does. But they're not quite the same. Let's break it down. So look, you've got your options. There's the classic Windows key plus D shortcut, which is fine if your hands are already on the keyboard. Then you've got that tiny, almost invisible button at the very end of the taskbar that's so easy to miss. But PeekDesktop, clicking the wallpaper is just the most natural, intuitive thing to do with a mouse. It just works the way you think it should. Okay, so you're probably sold and want to get this thing right now. So how hard is it to set up? The best part is, it's so easy. You can be up and running in like under a minute. It's really just 4 simple steps. You go to GitHub and download the zip file. You pull the file out into any folder you want. You double-click it to run it. And then this is the most important part. You right-click the little icon down in your system tray and just check Start with Windows. That's it. You're set. And here's what that looks like. On the left, that's the GitHub page. You'll want to grab the x64 file for pretty much any modern PC. Then on the right, that's the super simple menu you get when you right-click the icon. From there, you can toggle it on and off or pause it if you're about to fire up a game. And you know what's so great about this? There's zero friction. There's no complicated installation process. It never asks for scary administrator permissions. It doesn't mess with your system files. It's just a simple, portable app, which means it's totally safe and easy to use. So, when you boil it all down, who is this perfect little upgrade really for? Well, it's an absolute no-brainer for a few types of people. First, if you're coming to Windows from a Mac, this will make you feel right at home. Second, if you're a heavy multitasker who's constantly drowning in Windows. And finally, if your job means you're always dragging stuff from your desktop, designers, editors, you know who you are. This is just a faster way to work. And that just brings us right back to the coolest part of this whole story. This is a feature that feels like it belongs in Windows, and it was built as a passion project by someone high up on the inside. It just proves how real the need is. And lucky for us, he shared the solution with everyone for free. So, to wrap this up, it really makes you think, doesn't it? PeekDesktop fixes one small, super specific annoyance in such a perfect way. It leaves me wondering, what's that one tiny thing about your computer that drives you nuts?